It is now 20 past the hour, and you've heard us say it a million times. When floodwaters threaten, turn around, don't drown. But now the state of Pennsylvania is making it a law.
The Pennsylvania House unanimously passed a bill last week that would fine motorists who ignore temporary police barricades and drive through flooded areas during and after storms. Representative Todd Stephens supported the legislation, and he joins us live now via Skype. Thank you very much, Representative, for joining us. And why did you think it was so important to pass this bill?
Well, one of my local township managers, who's also a first responder, brought this issue to my attention, along with the local police chief. And it really just is common sense. We had a number of folks here in Pennsylvania with the massive flooding last year that were driving around these barricades and then needed to be extricated from their cars, or in some cases even died as a result of driving around those barricades. So trying to bring awareness to the problem and making people realize that they're endangering themselves and others by driving around those barricades.
Was this a huge problem for your state, not just in terms of people that needed to be rescued, but for the people who are trying to rescue other people?
Sure, and that's really the issue that most people don't recognize. It's one thing, if you're going to endanger yourself, but what you end up doing is endangering the first responders. We had an issue right here in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, where rescuers went in to rescue an individual that drove around a barricade and became stranded, and the rescuers ended up needing to be rescued by the National Guard. It's a serious problem. People don't realize that just a few inches of water can float your car or sweep you off your feet. And in both cases, you're in danger, and those that are forced to come rescue you are in danger as well.
And Representative, what's it going to take for this bill to become a law now, and what happens if it does? Well, what's the process? Fining? Is it going to be a fine? How's it going to be enforced?
Well, the bill that I proposed has a fine of up to $250 just for driving around the barricade, and then that fine goes up to not exceed $500 if you require emergency services or even towing services to get your car out. Additionally, if your car becomes disabled in the hazard, you're going to be assessed points to your driver's license, which ultimately could result in a suspension. Right now, the bill just left the House, and it's being moved over to the Senate here in Pennsylvania. I'm hopeful that they'll take it up. It is a pretty common sense piece of legislation, and as you're pointing out, part of a national initiative. So I'm encouraged. I think that they will take it up, and hopefully our governor will sign it ultimately.
We have about 20 seconds left, Representative, and that's a pretty steep fine there. Hopefully people will, be aware of that. But how much does it cost a rescue department to actually go out there and rescue someone who's gone onto a flooded road?
Funny you raise that issue. It varies depending upon the circumstances, but another part of the bill says that the driver is responsible for making restitution for whatever the costs were for the police, fire, or rescue equipment to come in and rescue them. So that's a part of the penalty.
Thank you, Representative Todd Stephens from Pennsylvania.